If you've been following my journey, I had my over $200,000 in student loans forgiven as of January 1st, 2023. And I wanted to talk to you what happened after that, right? How did it affect my credit in a good way, a bad way? Let's talk about it. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button. It pushes it out to the YouTube algorithm. So those of you who also have student loans and want assistance in figuring out how to get it forgiven can find the channel in this particular video and other videos we've done. We have a whole video playlist on student loans, so check that out if you haven't already checked that out. In this video, though, I'm going to talk to you about my journey from applying every year, doing annual certifications for my public service loan forgiveness, to have my student loans forgiven. I talked about the waiver that was in effect that you had to apply by October 2022. I talked about the waiting period and how it came full circle in January 2023. I got the paperwork that said that my loans were forgiven, over $200,000 worth of loans forgiven, right? So now what, right? In theory, my loan servicer, Mohela, is supposed to report that I now have zero balances, right? So that it can be updated with the 3 credit bureaus, Transunion, Experian, and Equifax, right? I found out that that wasn't happening, and I'm going to talk to you the kind of troubleshooting I did in case that also is some problem that you're running into as well. For some people, having the student loans forgiven will positively impact their credit score, right? Credit score is made up of different factors: your payment history, how long you've had your credit open, different accounts, what the balances are in respective to the credit limit, things of that nature. All those factor into what your credit score is for each agency, each credit reporting agency, right? And what the creditors do, they report to the credit agencies, and the credit agencies compile all this information to come up with your credit score. So what happened is some of my student loans were from, a few of them were from undergrad, most of them were for law school. A good 90% of it was from law school debt. So they've been accumulating since I started law school in 2008. And so those essentially have been open for a long time, right? And so having when you're thinking about credit and how long you've had loans or credit open, that's one of the factors, as I mentioned before, that factor into your credit score. So having something paid off, having the balance paid off, could potentially positively impact your credit score, but also could affect the fact that now you don't have an open loan that's been open for a long time, right? So it can wobble either way. So what happened is Mohela said that I had a zero balance. I had my paper saying that I had my zero balances, and supposedly they reported to the credit bureaus. However, I found out that it still showed on my credit bureaus, all 3 of them, that I had student loan balances from Mohela. So I contacted Mohela first to make sure it wasn't some mix-up. I contacted them through their Contact Us link on their website and said, hey, I have the paperwork saying that my loans were forgiven from you guys. What happened? They returned and said to me that they report to the credit bureaus at the end of each month, and that, it should be reflected as such. So I didn't contact them the first in January because I'm like, I will give it a whole month to kind of get themselves a chance to report to the bureaus. I didn't contact them until the end of February when I didn't see any changes. Like, wait a minute, you guys were supposed to update it. So this is what Mohela said. They said they did their part, and now I was forced to actually contact the 3 credit bureaus. I'm going to tell you what I did with the 3 credit bureaus. So now that I had confirmation from Mohela, the creditor, that showed that I had a zero balance, that they reported to the credit bureaus that I did have it, I contacted each bureau, credit bureau separately. And on the credit bureau, you go to the website, you create an account, and you can actually dispute balances. So I went on to each one and disputed the balances, each one, and then it says, what are you disputing? I put I'm disputing the balance, and they said, do you have any documentation? I would advise you to put as much information that can help the credit bureau understand why whatever shouldn't be reflected on your credit bureau. Make it easy for them to just say, hey, this is not correct. So I uploaded a copy of the Mohela letter that they said this is a zero balance, and it listed all of the loans that were considered, and it showed that what the previous balance was and what zero balance, so that the credit bureaus can verify Mohela and also reflect their own records. So I did that for each bureau. Actually, Experian was one of them that they didn't let me dispute it online for some reason. So I did it with Equifax and Transunion, and then they said I had to call Experian. I actually ended up calling them because once I updated with Transunion and Equifax, somehow, I guess Experian got the word. I don't know. But needless to say, within 30 days of me submitting my dispute about my student loan still reflecting my credit report, they sent me an email saying that they have completed the dispute investigation and that my credit has been updated. So my credit score went up about 15 points after those have been taken away, even considering the fact that now these loans show that it was zero balances, and I actually don't think, gotta go look to see if they actually show closed, because maybe they show a zero balance but not closed. I'm not sure, but either way, as a result of having no longer the $200,000 in student loans, my credit score went up 15 points, which is good. Some people, for them, that may be a significant thing for them in the grand scheme of things. They may have been stopping them from getting a house or applying for certain loans in the future. So this is a big deal. So if you've recently had your student loans forgiven through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness and you still receive reflected on your credit report, wait at least 30 days. But then if it's after 30 days, contact directly to the credit bureaus and upload a copy of that letter that you got from the servicer, Mohela, to say that, yes, you indeed have a zero balance. Hopefully the information I provided today was helpful. Like I said, although I'm finished with the student loan forgiveness journey, I still try to provide relevant information to those of you who are still trying to get yours forgiven. Hopefully we'll hear more about Biden's student loan forgiveness program, which is separate and apart from the one that I'm talking about today. But it also serves to give $10,000 up to $20,000 for some people in student loan forgiveness. So keep following our channel, and we'll try to keep you updated as much as we can. All right, see you in the next video.